In your oral presentation, you are expected to provide examples aimed at substantiating and illustrating the point you are making. Now the question is, what is a good example? What makes a good example? This is what this brief video is aimed at explaining. A good example is an example deemed pertinent by the audience. Pertinent here means an example which is especially suitable to the situation, an example which is especially suitable to the point you are making. And such an example must have four characteristics. In the first place, it must be a real-life example, a real case. You cannot afford to take a theoretical example, a fictitious example. No, it must be something that your audience should be able to visualize and understand as it stands. The second feature of a pertinent example is that it should be illustrative. Your example must be here to shed light on the veracity of the point you're making. So the example must really bring empirical evidence for the claim you're making. Thirdly, a pertinent example is a known example. You must select a case that people are likely to know so that you do not need to re-explain everything. You can be elusive to certain things about it and people immediately see what it means. And the fourth feature is that a good example, a pertinent example, is an example we remember. An example which is surprising your audience. An unexpected example. If you select the example everybody would expect, your point might be forgotten. Your whole story might lose in persuasiveness because anyone else could have told the same story. That is, if you have an exam question addressing innovation or technology, if you speak of Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Microsoft, this is so overly expected that your example will not really meet its objective. It will not be convincing. On such issues, you should probably privilege examples from pharmacy, from medicine, biology, etc., with names that can be known to the public, but that are not expected in the very first place. The issue, the challenge for you is to, at all times, remain pertinent, to be persuasive.